This is the GEOYEAO soundbar with dual subwoofers. Let's take it out of the box. There's a lot in the box, and that's okay because you're going to make real quick work of this. Very, very easy. We'll start off, you get the user manual. You get the soundbar itself right here. You get the power adapter. Connections for it are HDMI, they give you the cable. Coaxial input, they give you the cable. RCA to a TRS 3.5mm plug, they give you that. And a line-in cable, TRS 3.5mm at each end. They give you an optical cable right here, these type connectors. This is sometimes called PDIF. This is sometimes called TOSLINK, usually called optical. They give you rubber pads. You'll find out more about that in a bit. Screws and wall anchors over here, and short and long interconnecting cables. Why would you need short and long interconnecting cables? That is because this is a detachable soundbar. As the manual had shown before with two towers, you can do that. The way that works is take the soundbar, give it a twist, and it comes apart. And then over here are stands. They're different. So you match up the one that fits the right soundbar. It's pretty easy because that's like a male-female type looking thing. Like that. And it'll lock on. Let me reconfigure it like that. And there you go. Now you have a set of two tower speakers which you can separate out for better stereo separation, and that's where you'd use this longer cable. If it's connected all together as a soundbar proper, then this interconnects both pieces of it as such. You also get a remote I didn't mention before. There are some buttons on the unit itself that you can press if you want for a low-tech approach, or again, the remote takes two AAA batteries not included. Other than that, let me tell you a little bit more about the soundbar, and I'm going to reconfigure it into the soundbar in just a moment. So earlier I had mentioned that this soundbar has dual subwoofers. You may have seen computer speakers, they say 2.1, and what they mean by that is you get the two like satellite speakers and one big like subwoofer kind of thing that you're going to put probably on the floor somewhere like that. With these, the subwoofers are built in, and this is 2.2. So you have kind of your satellite speakers in there and subwoofers built into each. So two satellite speakers, so to speak, and two subwoofers. This one connected together is suitable for 32-inch TVs or larger, of course. You can wall mount it, as I had shown before, with the screws and wall anchors, or have it just as a soundbar sitting on a desk or whatever you have your TV sitting on. Or you can stand them up like this as well. As far as connectivity, let me reconfigure this as a soundbar. I can show you all of that, and then we'll proceed on from there. Alright, so what we have here, first down here is your power connection with the power adapter, HDMI, if you're going to use that, your coaxial, if you wanted that, your optical, if you're going to plug in, you plug in there. This is the line-in jack over here that can take either the TRS to TRS or TRS to RCA plugs. A USB port. That's a great feature because you can plug in a flash drive that has all your favorite songs on it, and this will just play it. There's no other technology that you need. You just plug it in and it plays straight. You don't have to worry about how it's connected up. How do you set it to the TV? What channel was that on cable where they play that music that you like? Anything like that. You know the songs you have. It's always going to be a good song because you like all of them. So it's real nice to be able to just have a flash drive in there, put music on whenever, and just be done with it. And over here are your connections between the two halves of the soundbar, and you would use these, the short connection right there to interconnect between those as such. And also, of course, if you are wall mounting it, there's your wall mount bracket, and of course one on the other end. Let's get this hooked up and test it out. Alright, once plugged in, it comes up by default. It says BT, which is flashing in the display there, cleverly hidden behind the speaker grill. That's because there's one other connection I didn't tell you about, because you can't see it. It's wireless, Bluetooth. So I have my phone here, and I've scanned for new devices, BT103, and there we go, we're connected up. Now let's play some music. So far, so good. Can't really complain about that. This again is going all wirelessly from the phone via Bluetooth. And then we have our remote over here. So you have your volume up and down. So we can turn that down as such. You could do play, pause, forward and back for Bluetooth connections, stuff like that. Convenient mute button right there, so if you wanted, you can mute it, and then it'll continue on. And there's some other stuff here that we're going to talk about a little bit later. But let's go ahead. I need to crank the volume on the phone up here so we can get some better volume. And now I'll crank up the speakers a bit. Very rich sounding. It sounds pretty good as it is, but you can tweak that to your liking. One thing you may know about Bluetooth audio is it's terrible. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to switch gears and plug a USB flash drive in, where I have some more, unfortunately, copyright-free music. That is just the way the world these days. Have to play that because everybody has to get their fair share. The good news, though, is you won't judge whether or not you like the soundbar on the music, because nobody likes copyright-free music. Okay, now I have a USB flash drive plugged in, so we're going to go ahead and play some music here. Now, keep your hands on your volume controls. This is going to get loud, and I'm going to make it loud, probably as loud as it goes. So be ready for that. I'll, of course, warn you before, and you'll see the display here like that. But let's just play this song, see what it sounds like as is, and then we'll start messing with it a bit. And turn the volume up. So far, so good. But now you got treble and bass. Treble and bass minus are over here and plus here on either side. So let's get that treble going a bit more. That's at max treble. Very crisp. In fact, I think a bit too much. So let's back that down. Now maybe a little more. We'll try it there, but let's do some heavier bass. Or some lighter bass. So the bass doesn't seem to have that much of an effect on it. It's there, but it kind of is about as good as it gets. You got a 3D button. Not too bad. Let's go ahead to a different song now. I turned the 3D off. We're going to crank this all the way. So get ready. Here we go. I think that's fairly impressive. I was a bit surprised to find that the bass was already all the way up, and the control for it doesn't... It does control it, but it's not as pronounced as I would have liked to have seen. But all in all, it's got some pretty good sound quality. There's yet some other stuff as well. There's the DSP over here, and there's 10 different modes. So let's find yet another song, and we'll go into that, and we'll just go through the different modes. It'll kind of display in the display there, so I'll let you use your imagination as far as what it means. Alright, here we go. Let's play this here. We'll crank the volume up to kind of a moderate level, and then we'll play with the DSP. So out of all of them, I think flat sounds the best, but you can adjust that. It depends on what you're listening to. You know, if you're listening to the news or something like that, you know, one of those DSP functions may, in fact, make it sound better than how it was before. So all around, not too bad. I love the fact that this is detachable, and you can have two separate satellite speakers. That's really nice for better stereo separation. So if you have the room on either side of your TV to have kind of a tower looking speaker on each side, it will sound much, much better. See, the reason we have sound bars today is back in the old days, I'm talking 25 years ago or so, when you bought a TV, it was that big boat anchor, you know, with the glass screen, you could knock on the front of it and all that, the CRT TVs. We had that, and then they came out with the flat panel TVs, but the part they didn't tell you is that the sound would go flat along with the TVs, so now we have sound bars. Well, sound bars sound great as they are, but you got to remember, you got your left and your right, but if you can separate that out wider, you get a much clearer and better stereo image. Give that a shot, in fact, when you watch, just like if you watch like sitcoms on, you know, normal broadcast TV, those are all recorded these days in stereo and that. And you can hear even commercials. you can hear stuff, whoa, that's all the way on the right, that's all the way on the left. Now, this is not a surround sound kind of system here, of course, so you don't get all that Dolby Atmos and all that kind of crazy stuff they have these days, but even just watching TV in stereo with good stereo separation is utterly amazing. So all around, I think the sound quality out of the GEOYEAO soundbar is pretty good. Being that it has dual subwoofers, I'm kind of a little surprised the bass isn't even punchier than it was, but it's certainly acceptable on every level as it is. I just wish it had the ability to push it just a little bit more, but otherwise it does sound pretty good, and that should pretty much wrap this up. So once again, this was the GEOYEAO soundbar with dual subwoofers. If you'd like to purchase this item, I'll leave a link in the video description where you can find the item available for sale on Amazon. Thanks for watching. Make sure you click like, make sure you click subscribe, and take care. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.